You're listening to Project Freedom Radio, ProjectFreedom.ws.
Now, here are the aims for the United States. 1. Greatly expanded government spending for every conceivable means of getting rid of ever larger sums of American money as wastefully as possible. 2. Higher and then much higher taxes. 3. An increasingly unbalanced budget despite the higher taxes. 4. Wild inflation of our currency. 5. Government controls of prices, wages, and materials, supposedly to combat inflation. 6. Greatly increased socialistic controls over every operation of our economy and every activity of our daily lives. This is to be accompanied, naturally and automatically, by a correspondingly huge increase in the size of our bureaucracy and in both the cost and reach of our domestic government. 7. Far more centralization of power in Washington and the practical elimination of our state lines. There is a many-faceted drive at work to have our state lines eventually mean no more within the nation than our county lines do now within the states. 8. The steady advance of federal aid to and control over our educational system, leading to complete federalization of our public education. 9. A constant hammering into the American consciousness of the horror of modern warfare, the beauties and the absolute necessity of peace. Peace always on communist terms, of course. And 10, the consequent willingness of the American people to allow the steps of appeasement by our government which amount to a piecemeal surrender of the rest of the free world and of the United States itself.
Vinny, how are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. This is interesting. So this is how we're going to do it. I'm just trying to find a nice spot to keep you on screen there. That looks good where you're moving along. There we go. All right. Vinny Bdatruth, happy to have you back here on We Are Change Connecticut, doing our thing that we did so good and continue to do so. Oh, man. Obviously, you had a hiatus for about 4 or 5 months.
I was Vinny MIA, huh?
Vinny MIA. But you're back, and God bless. I'm glad to see you. And moving along here, we got a whole bunch of news that was going on lately, and other things. What's been on your beat lately?
Well, I was away trying to take care of land, almost like doomsday preppers, like that show, trying to get land, food, a whole network going. That's why I was gone for a while. But everybody also knows that I'm having a daughter. She's going to probably be born in about 3 weeks or at any moment. So I'm back down here, and I got the webcam yesterday, so I'm ready to Skype. Hopefully I won't ever be away for that long again. And, the things that, the research I like to get into, to me, it's Lord Mayor Amstel Rothschild is a lot more important to know about than Barack Obama, in my opinion.
I join you in that opinion there, Vinny.
Yes, so, I like to always get into kind of deep history. Everybody knows I'm obsessed with the Masons. Not that I want to be one, but I want to know what they know and how far back it goes. And the more I look into it, the more I feel like the Masons are like really behind everything for, I don't know, maybe 13,000 years, maybe more. We talked about, now that I'm back, I'm trying to get people, some shows, maybe lined up some guests. And I was talking to you earlier about maybe getting Jonathan Gray to come back on, an archaeologist. I reached out to the Greek guy with the crazy hair on Ancient Aliens, trying to get a couple of different outlooks and have a friendly debate and get into some of the stuff that I'm really into with the Zeus and the Sphinx, Old World Secrets, the Brandon Levon book that I always talk to you about and mention on the show. That's something that's been big to me lately. I've been seeing people have been telling me, because I've been getting a lot of people to finally start looking into the Old World Secrets. Recently, I was told that a military guy came back, read the book, killed himself. And this is what they have on, I don't know if this is true, but this is what's on the internet right now. And supposedly the guy who killed himself, his brother's on the internet talking about the book. I mentioned how the book is now, people are trying to sell it for $500 because they're not printing it no more.
That's right.
I'm going to hold up the two books to let people know I really, this is what they look like.
Hold it up a second, Vinny. I can get closer on you. I just got to open up your view thing here. Hold on. Trying to get it closer here.
Yeah, and I definitely want to show one page on here, because there's a lot of stuff about getting decoded, and me and my cousin were able to decode some of this book. And one of the things it says is that all the history and the Bible and everything's written by the Masons, but there's a big cryptograph that I don't know anybody who's broken it. I've looked all over. You can't find it anywhere. I'm going to hold it up. So if anybody wants to try to help in this research, it's, let me see if you can see it there.
Let me just try to get a good shot here. Hold on. I mean, it is 1 second. I'll get it. Just let me, I'm trying to move the framing, and it's not complying very nicely.
Okay.
Hold on, the small one I got to close.
Oh.
All right, so then I see that. Okay.
Okay, so, I figured I'd let that so people don't have to spend $500 to get this book. He says that it's cryptographed in 3 different ways. Good luck trying to figure it out. I've been trying to figure it out for years. If anybody does, please let us know. So yeah, I'm still obsessed with, Zeus and all this, Old World Secrets, Ancient Aliens. It's very, it's a very big subject to me. Everywhere I go, people talk about that show, Ancient Aliens. I think the most famous guy is that guy with the crazy hair. So I wrote him saying, come on the show and I'll make my hair all crazy like him. Come Skype. Want to have him on the show. So, I'm looking to maybe do that. Get a show on that. I also still trying to get Doyle. I mean, Doyle Shamley, the guy of Our Time, who's taken over since William Cooper's been gone. We've mentioned him before. I mean, all the things I just said, it's all good, and that's my personal thing that I'm into. But honestly, the most important things is probably state sovereignty, and those things are more important than what I'm saying. Well, what I was just talking about, and state sovereignty, states' rights, how we could take back our rights and government, peacefully, nonviolent, legally. That's probably the most important thing for us to get into. And, Doyle, I hope we could set it up soon. And it would definitely, that's definitely a guy I would like to learn about. And I think could teach us a lot. And then maybe everybody could start, taking over their town, taking over their state legally, nonviolently. So that's just a little something.
Well, again, these are all the ways that we can get back our country from these criminals that hijacked it from the Rothschilds and everyone who put all these oppressive forces into place. I mean, the New World Order didn't just happen by itself. They created this police state, this growing police state, taking away our rights and stealing our property and bankrupting us. And so yeah, it's the awareness of it is important. And
yeah, the one world government, with the UN and everybody pushing for it. That's another thing, that goes back a long way, for people that are new to it. they might think that this is maybe something in the past 100 years or something new. It's something that goes way back. And even that's in the Bible, right? Revelation talking about one world government. So
that's right.
It's not conspiracy talk.
Oh no, it's real. What are you talking about? Gordon said we need world government. We had all of the they're all calling for world government in 2008 when they had the banking collapse. I mean, it's time for a world government and a world bank and a world court. I mean, and they're going for this. They're out in the open with it at this point. But it was a conspiracy theory for about 50 years. You're right.
And unfortunately, still a lot of people that love television and don't do research, they still don't want to believe it. To me, that's fear. I keep saying it. I think it's people just living in fear, Howie, that, they don't want to hear anything that could upset their little bubble, their little reality that they have.
Well, they're comfortable in their surroundings. They've been made to be comfortable in their surroundings. They've been, as Bertrand Russell said, or actually it was Aldous Huxley, that people can actually get to love their slavery and actually embrace their servitude and love it. And that sounds absurd, but are you not enslaved with your car payments and your taxes and the taxes that you pay on everything you buy, as well as your income tax and your property tax and your water tax and your fluoride tax and whatever other taxes these criminals try to put on us?
Yeah, you're right. And the key thing you said is that they're going to love it too. And all you got to do is look around, and most people just love it. They don't think there's really anything wrong, or, it's just a little bad. Things will get better. A lot of people love this fast food, 500 movie channels. Unfortunately, people are in love with materialism and technology and not health, family, spiritualism, things like that.
Wow, that's excellent. In fact, Bobby K, and thanks again, Bobby K, who's broadcasting us through Project Freedom Radio, ProjectFreedom.ws, while the NFormDRadio.com servers are in this transitional period. I have an update on that information, by the way, of that whole case and everything. I didn't even talk to you about this, Vinny, but we'll do it live on air. It's okay. But yes, right now, Bobby it just shot me a message about Ancient Aliens will be shooting a new series of shows starting next month, and we are now hooked up with Patrick Cook, UFOs and the Bible. He interviewed me last night, and I interviewed him Tuesday. We talk every day. If Vinny wants him on, it can be done.
I'd love that,
All right.
Thank you, Bob.
So that's Bobby K at Project Freedom.
Let me mention this, Howard. Then let me add, Bobby, listening to, and I was telling you a little bit before. I just got in touch with Ralph Ellis, who is a guy who wrote the book Jesus, the Last Pharaoh. It was written, a little while ago, and that's another guy who's into, that we could get on soon probably and get into these topics.
It's great. Yeah, he's again, that's all, as I said many times, that's sort of new territory for me, but very interesting. When we had Jonathan Gray on, I was absolutely fascinated. It was like the most exciting show for me, because I felt like I was a listener. I felt like I was somebody, like, because I really wasn't engaging, because I know very little about 10-foot tall people that were here before and up to 20-foot tall giants, but now I do. You see, that's the interesting thing. At the time, I knew nothing about it. Now I'm, again, researching, slowly learning. It's all it's just awesome,
I got to be honest, we've had a lot of good shows, and loved Sherry Kane Horowitz and the Fritz, but to me, I still, the most fun I had was with Jonathan Gray, because again, this is my type of my field that I'm really interested in. And
well, it was great. I had a great time. It was one of the, I really enjoyed it, like I said. So again, bring him back, and all these others, and see how it relates to these elite, because it's all about the bloodlines, right? And all of these old ancient rituals that they seem to be, continuously utilizing, right?
Definitely. And to me, the old world secrets, the bloodline is with Zeus. And that's the thing that I would love to, that's why I was trying to get Jonathan Gray the first time to talk about it. He did admit that Zeus was a man that lived here and after he died was elevated to God. But we didn't really take it much further. That's some of the stuff where I really wonder, like, there's also a lot of evidence, which is really well known, that the bloodline goes back to Egypt and Samaria. So that is only, though, the past 6,000 years. Old World Secrets, why it was so like a shock to me, is it's the only time I've ever heard anybody take it before longer than 6,000 years ago. And it goes to 13,000 years ago, which, Ancient Aliens talks about, and Jonathan Gray and archaeologists know that the Sphinx was built 13,000 years ago, lines up with Leo, the body of a lion.
Right.
Water erosion on the bottom when there used to be water there 13,000 years ago. So these are markers that Old World Secrets talks about. And a lot of it seems to match with archaeology, even the extinctions. I think it was okay. Like the woolly mammoth going extinct 13,000 years ago. Neanderthal, which is kind of scary when you read Old World Secrets, is, everybody talks about the age of Aquarius we're going into. The last time the age of Aquarius was 26,000 years ago, which was the last time Neanderthal was ever, seen walking around again. So, I think that's the scary thing with Old World Secrets. It's based on, he says, the Tree of Life is about the Zodiac and all the Zodiac signs. It's really interesting, and that's why I would love to get experts, ancient alien guys, Jonathan Gray, all types of people that know more than me and you, that could, really answer our questions and the listeners,
Right. Interestingly enough, that thing that you just made a little joke to, they didn't hear it, because remember I told you what happens when I mute my mic? You heard my Skype, but you didn't hear. The audience didn't. So just keep it between us. But that was an example of it. You reacted to something. Remember? Interesting. Anyway. But it's so fascinating. And again, I'm glad because, again, your forte was getting, delving into the ancient past, and my aspect, of course, is more current, or the last couple of 100 years. So that was what was great about the shows. We have this interlocking knowledge and learning off each other and utilizing each other's skills and skill sets to show how this all fits together. The spider web of evil that all meets in the middle, that bottomless pit. How it really is not only a bottomless pit, but it's a timeless pit, right? It goes back, almost like Bill Cooper said, to the point of the concealment of fire, right? Prometheus, yeah. The idea of fire, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's how I understand it. I'm more in current times, but yes, these things, and then they hide the secrets. They hide the secrets to gain power. Yeah.
Well, it's a good way if you know the truth about everything, or about special powers, or things like that, and you teach everybody else to not believe in anything, to think that it's all about getting drunk and partying and watching television. Then after a while you're going to be the one who has all the power while everybody else is working for you or asking for a handout from you.
Yeah. Incredible. And then it goes through time. So then you have the hiding of fire, the hiding of technology. Like we know, you wonder where or how these pyramids and all these things seem to be in all. As we mentioned with Jonathan Gray, I'm going back to my memory banks, having the fact that the largest of the pyramids is in China.
Yes.
So yeah. So it's really bizarre to think about it. And then again, we know the Illuminati or the Masonic elements with the connection to Egypt and, Cleopatra's Needle and all this other stuff. But it really ties deeper. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and you know, it's very obvious for anybody who looks, like you were just saying, like the obvious connection to Egypt on our money. It's, you know, the Pope, the Queen, DC, you know. So why would people think that, you know, that you know, this white brotherhood or whatever, you know, why would they have so much symbolism with Egypt? It's because they are actually, that's their bloodline. Like, people think Egypt, you know, it's Africa. Egyptians, you think darker people. You think, you know, like it wouldn't be like Bush's family and these people coming from Africa. But, you know, the Egyptians were Africans, and then a certain race came and took over and then hid their bloodline so that they could stay in power. And that one guy I talked about, Ralph Ellis, he talks about, you know, Jesus being a pharaoh, the last pharaoh. People have talked about, well, another thing, well, actually, I'm getting thrown off track a little here. There's just so much about it. That's why I want to get the experts to explain about these pharaohs, because I don't want to offend people. That's why I get a little nervous when I talk about this, because I know this is a hot subject, but there's a lot, like you were showing Sigmund Freud. This is what I wanted to say. Before the show started, I was sitting here watching what you had on, and you were playing, and had a lot with Sigmund Freud.
Yeah, that's actually an important piece for everybody to watch. Everybody listening and watching should seek out on YouTube, seek out The Century of the Self. It's this British series from like 2004. It's incredible about the mind control and the through the media and through product placement and the whole way that Edward Bernays propaganda. It's really interesting. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to plug that. I had to plug it.
And it was good. I was sitting here watching it before the show, and it made me want to bring this up, that Sigmund Freud, also, the last book he wrote was called Moses of Monotheism, when he was studying down in Egypt. And the Jewish community like warned him and said, you know, you really shouldn't publish this book. You're going to get in a lot of trouble. And he did it. And through my research, it shows that the Rothschild's agents, like agents of the Rothschild, killed Sigmund Freud because he wrote a thing called Moses of Monotheism, which shows that Moses was the Egyptian pharaoh Tutmosis. And, you know, these are things that I never really heard about. And that's why I'm very curious, and I would like to get experts from both sides, you know, talk about it, and like a jury kind of, you know, listen to both sides and then have an opinion more, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I've been thinking a lot about it too, you know, recently. And one of the things that came to mind was the interesting thought about, you know, how did Jesus spread all of his, how did he you know, travel the world more or less? It was because he actually did come from sort of a noble house. His uncle, right, was Joseph of Arimathea.
Yeah.
Right? Who was a seaman, a merchant. And he had fleets of ships. So he would travel with Jesus, would travel with him in his early years. And that's how he got to travel around the world. Or like, that's the understanding that, so they always think that he was from poverty, but he really wasn't. He did have, he gave up that, but he came from money, for lack of a better word, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's my, and people don't want to believe that because they always say he was poor, you know, and they were poor,
again,
and you know.
That's the Vatican spin. To me, that's why, again, this guy Ralph Ellis probably will be the most controversial about this subject. He's the one who gets into, there's a great documentary a lot of people have talked about. It's called The Labyrinth of Truth. That I've watched, and that's where I first found out about some of this information. And this is where Ralph Ellis is talking about, he says that the last pharaoh of Egypt is Cleopatra, and she had kids. The first husband was Julius Caesar, JC. Then she was with Mark Antony, had the 3 kids with Mark Antony. They Mark Ellis basically says that Jesus was Caesarian. That was his name in Egypt, and he says that he was the last pharaoh who then left because of fear from Octavian, I believe, who took over the Roman Empire. And now before I take this further, I don't know if this is what Illuminati believe or if this is real or not. This is why I want to take it further and get the guy to actually come on.
It's fascinating. It's certainly, people would be very upset by it. It's certainly controversial, but you see, that's the problem. Religion, I think, unfortunately, I think that religion has basically trained or conditioned their flocks, whoever religious flock it is, whichever one. It's all the same control mechanism, that they've gotten them to have a closed-mindedness that it would be against your faith, or it's blasphemy, or it's against your faith. It wasn't so long ago that they were burning people at the stake. It wasn't so long ago that they were torturing people to confess and to change their religion. So an awful lot of evil has been done in the name of good, and it still persists. And in this case, that's what we're talking about. And a closed-mindedness leads to tyranny. Hitler, Stalin, all of these people could not, if people just woke up and said, wait a minute, look what's going on. No, they're closed-minded. They're stuck in their mindsets. They're stuck in their programmed world. Like you were talking about Bernays. It goes,
yeah, they feel safe. That they're afraid of having to hear something they don't like, so they just shut down and block it out. Unfortunately, and me and you and a lot of people that get into this type of information, the reason we're in this field of information is because we're so open-minded and we were willing to look at things that we're not comfortable with, and this is one of those subjects. And my grandmother always used to tell me, don't ever talk about religion and politics. She always used to tell me. But those are the two things that I just want to talk about all the time. I don't care that, a lot of people, get offended. The only way to learn is by debate and talking. And that's why I really want to get Ralph Ellis to come on. And, because like I said, I don't even, I'm not saying this is the truth. I'm just saying this is something that's very interesting that I'd like to actually talk to the guy who came up with this, who better than the source, and say, how did you come to this conclusion, that Jesus is Caesarian and all this stuff. So,
it's very, very interesting. And again, controversial. I mean, it's just like, like the Passion of the film, the way that was done. Passion of the Christ, or the blasphemous look at Martin Scorsese's film, The Last Temptation of Christ. I mean, in all fables there's some truth, and in all truth there's some fables. And you have to be open-minded, and you have to understand that the actual events are long gone, and all we have is a history that was passed on. You do have a Holy Spirit, in my opinion. I mean, Jesus Christ is my Savior. That's my personal viewpoint. But I'll tell you this much. I mean, Catholic faith is a faith, but the church is like all of these religions, corrupt. All of them, including the Mormons, including the every one of them. The hierarchical composition of these organizations is not what it appears to be, ladies and gentlemen, just like it isn't with the New World Order control that we talk about, right? It's not what it appears to be. And that doesn't mean that we're blasphemous. It's just we're slamming the religion, not the faith. There's a big difference. There's a big difference, but in more mind control. More mind control. They don't say that, I mean, you can have your own personal faith and whatever it is. You can worship a cabbage, and I give you have a right to worship a cabbage. That's fine, and God bless you. And if you want to give money to cabbage, and that's okay. But understand that it's not the only way, and they're just like everything else with the medical mafia, fearing you into taking cancer treatment, fearing you into taking all these other treatments. when you're at your most vulnerable point. And then when you have people that are like Dr. Carpenter, who comes up with a solution to the cancer, and others that do it, what do? They shut you down. Okay, we're taking a short break. We'll be right back. I'm Howard Nema, and Vinny Bdatruth, you're back, man! Rocking on! So you're listening to and watching We Are Change Connecticut. We'll be back in just about 5 minutes. This is As Your Soul with the New World Order. Lady Gaga.
Yep. Thank you.
The Whore of Babylon.
Sure. The number 8 of them, and the Grim Reaper, the symbol of 8, called the Titan.
gives a Masonic devil symbol when he's playing the flute. So
Yep.
come and take it!
That's a pyramid right there.
We are change, exposing the collectivist global elites' Malthusian quest for a new world order.
Okay, we're live,
A one-world dictatorial government where all aspects of human life are under their control. Truth Talk Radio, where news the mainstream media ignores is the top story and your voice is heard.
We Are Change, Connecticut. Saturdays, 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TruthBroadcastNetwork.com. Audio simulcast on Project Freedom Radio, ProjectFreedom.ws, and NFormDRadio.com. That's the letter N, FORMD, radio.com. Okay, we are back. I'm Howard Nema and my co-host Vinny Bdatruth, and we are Change, Connecticut. So we were getting into some deep stuff there, the religious aspect of this whole New World Order, mind control, grid.
And like you say, I always think of you because you've said it, more than me, the Hegelian dialectic, again, of just, or the famous saying, order out of chaos, that's the slogan of the 32nd degree Freemasons. It's on the $1 bill. They cause a problem and then come up with a solution, divide and conquer. This is all them, been doing it for a long time.
Yep, that's right. And it continues like endlessly as we move along.
Yep.
I'm just trying to get my Procaster, seems to not be reacting here. Okay, there we go. Took a little time to get back. Right now, there's my stream. Okay. I was just showing a New World Order scene here. Let me just get in on you. So what else you got in mind here, Vinny? That we were chatting on. Where were we going?
Well, like I said, to me, I want to take it deep when we get a couple of experts, maybe even have like 2-3 guys on to really get deep into it. I'll mention the Professor Griff, like I was talking to you about. Professor Griff, he's finishing up a book. In 30 days, his book will be done, and
Excellent.
And then he'll come on. He'll talk about the book a little, and then we can get into the industry. And that's another topic I love. Not so much because it's like entertainment and idol worship, but it's to me, I've always said it's a great tool to waking up people that aren't looking for this type of information. The people that you mentioned, John P. Holdren or Bernanke, and politicians' names, they right away turn you off. But if you say Lady Gaga or Jay-Z, things like that, you at least get some of these, people to ears ring up. Like, what did you say, Derek Jeter? I love Derek Jeter.
Yeah, right. Of course, if it's a celebrity or it's someone in there, in the mainstream, media mind control syndrome. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I love to keep my eye on that stuff. Did I tell you about the thing with the Lil Wayne video? There was you remember the shooting in the movie theater where 12 people got shot, right? Of
course, yeah.
Well, 3 days before that happened, Lil Wayne comes out with a weird video. If anybody ever, watches it, it's just filled with crazy Masonic symbolism. And in one of the scenes, he's sitting in a movie theater with 12 skeletons. So, coincidence or whatever, that, it's just weird.
That is a little weird. It's probably a coincidence, but still very odd. I don't know.
I know it's weird how they seem to know all these things, just like with 9/11, all the movies and everybody who knew about it, before it.
Well, he seems like another one of these guys that seems like an MK Ultra victim. Like these controlled people like that are, for example, Ted Kaczynski, right?
Yeah.
The Unabomber was an MK Ultra mind control volunteer. He volunteered for MK Ultra, and then what happened? About 15 years later, right? He started blowing stuff up. And now this guy, 15 years after getting out of the the military, he's doing crazy stuff. The guy last week, the new guy, what's his name, Page.
Yeah, and let's not forget Timothy McVeigh.
There's a lot of them.
It's just weird, how this stuff just happens. Always also on like certain dates. It's just really weird.
Dates,
that's why without saying 100% proof, you got to say it's it could be coincidence, but I lean again towards most things aren't coincidences. Basically,
there really are no coincidences. I should be, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Without absolute proof, which obviously I don't have any. I don't know Lil Wayne, but it's just
it's interesting though.
Videos keep showing things, movies keep showing things, and great what you said about MK Ultra. I think a lot of these people are that. I think that we've mentioned like maybe the porn industry, and certain people in Hollywood and the music industry, I think, are connected. Like their parents are big time Masons, and they put their kids at a young age into programs, and some of them, from the day they were born, they were being, programmed to be Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, all the Mickey Mouse members over there, and they have these weird names. You don't know who they really are. Prince. Prince is the one I said in 1998. 1998, Prince is on stage talking about, I got to get back to America.
That's right, yeah.
Osama bin Laden getting ready to bomb. That's even before William Cooper mentioned, Osama bin Laden. So,
that's true.
It's crazy. To me, it's the Masons and Prince. I found out is like 90% Sicilian. His father is like 100% Sicilian. So there's, a good chance he's, he could be a bloodline or a High Mason, Malta, Knights of Malta or something. And they have this information. These people making movies, they have millions of dollars. They're not playing Xbox when they're at home. They're hanging out with other millionaires discussing how to make more millions and get more power.
Exactly.
And they're going to secret meetings, and it's all about the brotherhood and not the outsiders. So that's why I'm, again, the Masons are a big subject to me.
Yeah, I did a show on them the other day on Truth Talk Night at the Movies. Actually, Truth Talk News. I did a segment. It wasn't Night at the Movies. By the way, Truth Talk News, Monday through Friday on TruthBroadcastNetwork.com, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go over a lot of stuff. In that case, I used some of your examples of the film clips that you put together with the Masons. It was really interesting. And I know Pam Suggs, UnitedTruthSeekers.com, who I'd be remiss not to always thank for who she's doing such tireless work to get the truth out, wants more information on this, so she'll be real interested. Anything we can add about the Masons. And, of course, I got to thank Harry Link on Death to the New World Order here on TruthBroadcastNetwork.com. Roger Landry, we haven't spoken about him. He's been very busy. They've got a big TV show going on, and
that movie, right? That documentary.
Yes, the movie, yep. We the People movie. In fact, at the end of this broadcast, I have a little homage to that. I don't know if the producers will be too happy, but I did a fair usage of their their own work, so that they've released so far in a trailer. I'll preamble that now, because whatever, they didn't necessarily want me to do this, but it's so effective, and it's good for their cause. I think that they're a little afraid of becoming. I mean, the New World Order is a little too strong for them. They're just thinking that these are just some bad bankers doing bad things to us, and that's the position they're taking on the movie. It's a hell of a lot more than just a couple of bad bankers, I'll tell you that. But
Mm-hmm.
we know that. Okay, so we
Hey,
have yeah, exactly.
They can get rid of the bankers.
Yeah, it's a good thing though. I mean, he's putting attention to the bankers, more to catch the mainstream people, and to try to get to wake them up in a way that's understanding that these guys are just lying criminals, and we know that. But I guess we're a little too extreme for them, talking about conspiracies and bloodlines and the New World Order.
It's overwhelming at first, and I'm sure you could admit, just like me, I admit in the beginning it's overwhelming, and that's why you need to let it soak in for a while, and it's a lot of information, and that's why open-minded people are the ones that pick up on it a lot easier. But we got to keep plugging away and keep trying to wake up family and friends. And I think a lot of us also admit that it is getting more people are waking up. Not that we have enough and everything's we're all good now, but there is a lot more of an awakening than just a few years ago. So we got to.
That's true.
Keep going.
Wow. I had some interesting news. I had said a few things earlier in the week, or were a couple of shows back, about Charles Castle. Now, Charles Castle had been pretty much taken over by a conservatorship, and there's a little bit of an update. He was moved to San Gabriel Valley Medical Center. It was assumed to be an illness, but of course it was a little bit more than that. And he is not physically ill, and they are holding him captive again. So we have some more of these type of conservatorships where they suck money out of people. And maybe we can put a little awareness to these conservatorships. Janet Phelan said some good articles on this guy. And then I had a good news about Dr. Fetgather, who was cleared and got his medical license back after they wanted to take it away because he refused to be given a psych evaluation because of a conservatorship concerning his son. Imagine you have a son that's a special needs son, and the court decides who's going to take care of your kid, and it comes from, and they pay, the state is like, it was a very sad thing. We're feeding back a little there. Is that, are you hearing that? Is that your microphone, your speakers maybe?
Maybe. I'll mute it while I'm not talking.
Yeah, it just might be there. Point being, that this conservatorship issue, especially noticed in California, there's a lot of abuse here, that it's something we all got to keep an eye on. Now, there's other news that we have that I didn't cover or did cover. I talked about Saudi Arabia. I talked about, I mean, my God, we're on the verge of war again, ladies and gentlemen. Israel, if they attack Iran because they think that all of a sudden there's some credible intelligence. Vinny, there's credible intelligence that they have found a way to make nukes faster. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar?
It sounds like the same old stuff, just more to, for fear and get people programmed and ready for war.
They really are, and it's coming, because now what's even worse is now it turns out that if Israel decides that they're going to attack Iran, Saudi Arabia, who we should have been at war with anyway for 9/11, if you really want to ask me. I mean, if you really say these 19 guys with box cutters, 16 of them or 17 of them were from Saudi Arabia, that's where we should be targeting our efforts, right? Wouldn't that be true? I mean, no. We're going to go to war somewhere had nothing to do. People have nothing to do with 9/11.
No, we had to go after the opium and heroin coming out of Afghanistan that was created by
the oil.
Bush boys, the Skull and Bones, and the same people. Again, you want to take the bloodline? I can do this, Howie. To Britain when they were the opium wars back with China.
Cecil Rhodes, yes.
You know, the Skull and Bones go back to even then. They're the drug dealers. They're the CIA drug dealing scum that have been selling drugs for, hundreds of years. It's even a part of Chinese history of when the British came with boats and started shelling them when their government tried to get rid of the opium that was, killing and addicting 10,000 Chinese people, And the British said, wait, you're not going to let our drugs, ruin your people? Here, take this from our boats. And they started shelling China. And I also looked into it. That's where 007 was created. It was the guy, John D. 007, who worked for the Queen. A bunch of drug dealing, skull and bonesmen that are still doing it today. And Howie, about Bush being connected with Afghanistan and Osama bin Laden when they created the Mujahideen.
Oh, of course.
When he was, director of the CIA. So, it just backs up what we were saying before about bloodlines, and it goes a lot further than people could even imagine.
Yeah, it's a very deep rabbit hole. It really is. It really is. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. People laugh when I talk about Bush. They admit it's known that he's a descendant of Godfrey the Boyan, which was people just go look that up because you need to know about Godfrey the Boyan and with Jerusalem. And it's his family that were the Egyptian pharaohs, believe it or not, because again, you hear Egypt, you don't picture George Bush and the Queen of England, but it is. And that's why they're sitting on pyramids and talking in front of obelisks. The Pope does it. They all do it. The president in D.C. It's because it goes back to Egypt. So.
It does. And there's no doubt about it. We have a connection that's been through bloodlines with the presidents. I mean, it's they even talk about it like even with the pop culture. Oh wow, Obama's related to Dick Cheney, like it's a joke, They make it a joke.
Yeah, I seen him on BET talking about it.
They make a joke of it.
Yeah. Oh well, we don't hang out at family get-togethers. It's a big joke.
They have to make it a joke.
Yeah, the first black president, they say, but his Irish mother is the bloodline connection. That's where the bloodline connection comes to. That's how he's related to Brad Pitt and all this. It's because of the Irish mother, Susan Dunham, I believe the name is.
That's right.
Just like, Prince is black. No, Prince is 90% Sicilian. And, a lot of these people, it's all hidden up. It's all hidden.
Yeah. Oh, unbelievable.
So, Howie, I've been, I admit I've been in the woods and I missed a lot of stuff. All I would get to see is the front page of the newspaper when I'd go into, a gas station or something. And that's always, things that aren't that important. So
Pam Suggs says, Vinny says hi. Vinny says hi. Oh, tell hi. No, excuse me. Pam Suggs wants me to tell you. Vinny, I said hi.
How you doing, Pam Suggs? Great job. All the work you and Howard, you too. I always like to give you credit because, it's amazing, to keep doing it every day, Howie, and the amount of work you do. I like to give you credit, Pam Suggs, Roger Landry, everybody that, keeps Bobby K, everybody that's doing stuff, I apologize when I'm not around, but, I keep trying to do as much as I can,
No, it's good, man. You're back. But we are getting a little bit of blast back that we weren't having before. I don't know if it's from your speaker, the volume level on your speakers. That's better. I don't, yeah. You were, yeah.
Is that better?
Well, I'm still hearing an echo. It's weird. But yeah, Pam says hi. Hi, Pam. And that's Pam Suggs of UnitedTruthSeekers.com.
How's Barbara Hartwell doing?
Barbara Hartwell has been a little off the radar as far as just she's going through some personal stuff right now. She's not really out there, but she's hanging in there. She's hanging in there. I spoke to her actually today, and hopefully we can help her out. She does need a little bit of assistance right now. She's in a pretty tough place, but I did a couple of appeals. She had some financial troubles that she's under, and she's been basically blacklisted to get in as you know.
Yeah. It's one of the things that really upsets me a lot. Again, I'm going to bring up his name, the big giant Alex Jones over there. But it's just upsetting to me that Alex Jones makes millions of dollars a year, and people like Barbara Hartwell or even Doyle and Hour of the Time,
these people are struggling.
People seem like they're the ones who are struggling, and they really need help. That's part of the reason why, me and you, I know, Howard, you're just like me. Like, you want to help Barbara, and I wanted to help Fritz, and we want to help people that, that are on hard times, that, have done a lot for the community and for this movement. And, Horowitz and them getting attacked, we try to help. And listeners and people have to do, I mean, we really got to start, I guess, Howard, we probably should push more to try to get people to donate or buy products or something, because, people got to try to support, people are supporting Coca-Cola and Pepsi and McDonald's every day. People are supporting cigarettes and cable, Time Warner you're supporting. You need to support people like, Hartwell and Doyle, people that, are doing stuff to help,
It's true, and we will. We're moving forward. I mean, I got a couple of things. Again, money is tight no matter how you look at it. Believe me, what we do here, ladies and gentlemen, costs money.
It's tight for the honest people, Howie. Though it's only hard for the honest people, the people that are a part of the group, the Masons, the bloodline. It's not hard for them. They get all the advertising and everything they need, and it's very obvious to me. And that's how I feel like you could pick out who's a lot of, not 100%, but you could usually tell the people who's all over television and have a lot of money. They're usually the ones that are working for them. That's why they have the money.
Yeah, that's true. Well, listen, I'm having a little bit of a streaming issue here, ladies and gentlemen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this particular stream. Just keep broadcasting, Bobby, off the network. It'll just cut back to another preset. I'm thinking that if I start a new stream, it'll be better for the next hour. We're just about ready to take that break there, so I'm going to kill the stream before then. And this is Howard Nema and Vinny Bdatruth. So happy to have you back, brother, here with We Are Change Connecticut, and we'll be back in just a minute. And then there'll be a break, actually, by the time I get it going. But God bless you all, and we'll see you in just a moment. Yeah, Vinny, I had to stop. I'm having problems with the computer responding, so I'm thinking.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's better to.
I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to go, have a smoke, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
I'm just right now trying to save the stream. I'm hoping that there it goes. All right, it did it.